So with all the crazy hype happening in JP with Tensura, and they just announced a brand new Celia is coming out, which looks absolutely fantastic. Some stuff has managed to slip under my radar, and one of those things was actually the Ninja Saga getting Dream Awoken. Now with Dream Awakenings, I usually don't make videos on these because they're pretty bad a lot of the times. But I thought this was probably a good time for me to kind of give my thoughts on the entirety of Dream Evolutions and kind of what I would like them to be, while also telling you kind of what the Dream Evolutions do for the Ninja Saga. So without further ado, let's jump in. Mizuki's terrible. The Crimson Dream just gives you fire res and you increase your own arc gauge by 2, which isn't bad for what Mizuki is. Mizuki is definitely going to be used mainly against fire characters, so buffing up everybody's fire resist isn't a terrible idea with this one, but yeah, I don't like it. The 2 arts per second isn't too bad though. As for the Water Dream, it increases your own equipment CT speed by 20%, which is definitely really good. She actually has 2 support slots, so she'll definitely be able to make use of that. As for the next one, there's the boy Genzo, and Genzo got also shafted. This man is more of like a damage dealing, I guess you could even say a nuker. He did get like some modifier buffs, and he's gonna definitely hit harder against light enemies. But as far as his Dream Evolutions go, it just buffs up his own equipment CT speed and his poison resist for one of them, and the other one increases your own arc gauge by 100 at the start of the quest and increases his own damage against humans. The arc gauge at 100 definitely isn't bad, especially for some nukes, but I don't think you'll be able to get a nuke off with Genzo since she's a third eye character. Kisaragi is actually a character that I was really hoping they would do justice, because Kisaragi, I was kind of hoping that whenever it would enter third eye, she would be able to have a Dream Evolution passive that just gives her true art back instantaneously, so you could actually start nuking with the attack buff, because the attack buff is 150% now instead of just 100%, so you could, you know, dish out some real deal damage. Yeah, they didn't do that at all with the Dream Evolution passives. The first dream, which is the Fire Dream or the Crimson Dream, is you increase equipment CT speed and you increase your own poison res. The second one gives her more accuracy and art gauge. Who is designing this? Next is the boy Saku. And Saku's buffs hurt me the most, because Saku didn't get a modifier buff, and then he didn't get any help with Dream Evolutions. I just want to know, why do they keep giving characters equipment CT speed? It's like, what do we give this unit to make it better? Well, we don't know what else to do. Equipment CT speed. Not every unit in the game wants equipment CT speed. Next is Shiki. Now, Shiki is a mess. She always has been. But she got buffs across the board with her modifiers and stuff. Not crazy buffs, but a decent amount of buffs. Also, actually got an Archgen buff as well. As for what her passives are, her first one is increase all light allies art gauge by 2 per second. And then the second one is increase human allies arts by 2 per second. Oh my goodness. Shuri. Shuri is my favorite ninja. I used her a lot whenever she was meta back then. Love dealing big damage with the massive fist and just, you know, blowing up bosses. So I was hoping that maybe they would give her like a 80,000% modifier, or maybe even push 100k, give her something crazy, maybe have one of her dreams give herself like 100% defense ignore if she's above like 90% HP. Nope, she didn't get any of that. Shuri got modifier buffs, a duration buff, and as for the dream passives, she got increase own equipment CT speed and increase all allies break power by 20%. Why do we keep giving units equipment CT speed? The second one, which is a Spectral Dream, increases your damage against light enemies by 30% and you increase your own arts by 1%. Bro, who at Next Ninja is doing this? Amane is the next character we have here, and Amane has always been actually a pretty strong ninja. Like, she's had tons and tons of damage buffs, and she's always been just really good in light and dark teams. And with her Dream Evolution, they pretty much buffed her kit, made her a little bit stronger. And then with the 2 Dream Evolution passives, her first one is increase own equipment CT speed by 10% and increase own damage to enemies with 30% or less HP by 50%. And the second Dream Evolution increases your own damage against human enemies and increase your own damage against dark enemies. Both these Dream Evolution passives aren't really good for this character. Like, I feel like this character is more of like a nuker slash, you know, the 4th unit to put in a team just to buff up your characters even more. And with that, I would have much rather had like an Archgen passive instead, like increase own arts by 100 or something like that. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't like this. This is trash. And the last one is Tamane, the very last ninja. They get Dream Evolution. Well, not even a ninja. She's just from the Ninja Saga. Kit-wise, got buffed just like everybody else. Her 2 passives, increase own equipment CT speed by 10%, increase own arts by 2. Increase own skill CT speed by 30% with the second dream, and increase your own damage against earth enemies by 80%. Just like I've been saying the entire time, why do we keep giving units equipment CT speed? The entirety of the Ninja Saga as Dream Evolutions are so underwhelming. There's a few in here that you could definitely get use out of, but I don't know, man. Dream Evolutions are slowly starting to become very mundane and just not worth it. I feel like with Dream Evolutions, especially for characters that, you know, are really popular or had like some type of impact on the meta, they should be able to bring them back and bring them back with like a vengeance. I don't want these characters to be the best characters in the game, but I would love for these characters to at least be able to compete with their super awoken counterparts. Half the time, a lot of the Dream Evolutions that we get aren't able to do that. For one, modifiers are too freaking low, none of them are able to hit nowhere near as hard. Even if it's a damage dealing type character, they still just suffer from having a weaker modifier, and they try to compensate that by giving them tons and tons of crit damage or something else to hopefully make up for it in the damage dealing department. Not only is damage poor with a lot of these characters, also just what they're offering isn't usually as good as an Ascended character, which sucks. I feel like whenever we get Dream Evolutions, there should be a chance for you to be able to put these characters on the same level of the Ascended units in terms of supporting, in terms of what they're capable of, whatever the case may be. Even if they're only relevant or they're only good for like a month or two, and then like an Ascended character comes out and just completely destroys the Dream Evolution, that's it, you know, that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? It's a gacha game, it is what it is. But we haven't seen that yet. I don't think there's a single Dream Evolution that we have received yet that has made a character actually relevant in the meta. They're mainly just, oh, this is a cool character to use if you want to use them, but you probably won't because, you know, if you have Ascended units, why would you use it? Or if you have the best Awoken units in the game, why would you go through the trouble of Dream Evolutioning and awakening this character whenever they're just weaker in pretty much every single way from what you already got? It just definitely rubs me the wrong way because I see so many other games whenever they buff up these older characters, you know, like Dokkan, Dissidia, hell, even Fate, whenever they do their rank ups or whatever. A lot of the times, about 80%, the buffs are relatively good, they're meaningful, they're impactful to the character, and it makes the character stronger and actually even more viable. A lot of these buffs I don't think are very impactful, or they're just kind of thrown in there. They're not really well thought out. It's like they don't even know what these characters are used for half the time, because giving everybody equipment CT speed is not the way you do it. Not only have I been disappointed by the Ninja Saga though, even the Tensura Dream Evolutions weren't like up to the level that I was hoping for. I would say right now the Dream Evolutions from Tensura are a lot better than the ninjas, but it's still like, I feel like there could be more. I feel like you could really push these characters to be stupidly strong and some of the best units in the game whenever they get these Dream Evolutions. We just don't see that ever. And I really hope that in the future, whenever we get the stuff like KOB or whenever we get the stuff like Phantom Snipers, they are actually thinking about the Dream Evolutions more and hopefully being able to create Dream Evolutions that are actually viable and somewhat staples in the meta, at least for a little bit before they fizzle back out, because this is like the only time to bring back older characters, because Ascended units, let's just face it, ladies and gentlemen, are so freaking cracked that it's like, why even use these previous characters that are 2 or 3 years old, even though they might be some of your favorite characters in the game? But hey, you guys heard my opinion about all this. You guys can tell me what you all think down below in the comment section. I just wanted to make this little quick video here, just kind of give you my thoughts on Dream Evolutions, because yeah, I probably won't ever cover a Dream Evolution again unless it's actually somewhat interesting or there's a good one that comes out, but I highly doubt that at the moment. We'll definitely show them off when they come on the global, but in terms of like actually actively informing you of what every single Dream Evolution does, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing that because none of them are exciting. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you all again for coming out. It's been your boy P, and last but not least, you guys already know, don't forget to drink water.